Welcome to this ProSurfBlog.com special feature video. We have assembled a collection of interviews that took place at California surfing events in 2011. CJ Hobgood keeps it real. CJ wins his heat. Hey CJ, good heat. I have a question for you. What do you do to keep grounded while you're on tour?
Travel with the kids.
You really keep the kids with you?
Yeah, travel with the kids. No, I mean like hang out with the kids and the younger, with the youth.
Oh, the groms?
You know? Yeah. Right. So yeah, just kind of feed off them.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, I think coming from Florida,
right.
I don't get out of line, so I'm pretty grounded anyways.
Right, right.
Yeah.
What on tour or at home? What do you prefer, fish taco or steak taco?
Oh yeah, fish.
Fish, right on.
Sure.
All right, cool, man. Good
okay.
eat.
Thanks, man.
After the Trestles Prime event concluded in May, I headed up to Huntington Beach in August for the US Open. Who's your favorite grom? Who's your favorite grom?
My favorite grom? I like hanging out with Parker Kaufman. He's a couple years younger than me.
Nice, right on.
Really funny kid.
Cool. And what do you think about the waves today?
It's fun. It's Huntington, typical, and I always love coming down here for this event, so I'm just glad to be here and to make the meet. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
Let's look forward to a good event.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Thank you.
All right, look forward to seeing more of you in the future.
Thank you.
A little later, we also asked Damien who his favorite grom was. Hey, Damien, who's your favorite grom? Competitor.
I don't know, there's too many good ones.
And if you joined us earlier this morning, and do remember the Brazilian.
Yeah, right on, bro. How's it going? Michel Bourez let us in on a couple of his favorite up-and-coming surfers as well. Who's your favorite grom?
My favorite what?
Grom.
Grom. Oh, I don't know, about probably Kolohe or Evan.
Hello, hey, Evan. Right on, man. I've been getting a couple of favorites from some of the other guys, so right on. Have a good one. We headed back down to Trestles in September for the World Tour event where Kelly Slater dominated. Looking to bridge the generations of surfing, I talked with former world champion Pete Townend. I'm here with Pete Townend today, and Pete, I have a couple questions for you. One, what are some of the most significant changes that have occurred in the last decade or two that stick out in your head? And then, two, what would you like to, talk to the surf audience about in general about today?
Well, the first thing that's changed in regards to the sport is money.
Okay, yeah, that's a big one.
Guys are now, earning $1 million a year, which was our dream. I mean, when we dreamt that we could be pro surfers in the 70s, the whole film busting down the door.
Right.
We had a dream that we could make $1 million. Well, we didn't do it, but our dream came true, and these guys are doing that.
Right.
And I think the most significant other thing that's happened, is the thruster. And people don't realize that the thruster was actually created because of competition.
Right,
Everyone sometimes says, pro surfing, it doesn't matter, it's all about just surfing and soul surfing. Well, we wouldn't have a thruster if it wasn't for pro surfing.
So you feel it pushed the sport forward by people innovating and creating new
well, the best guys
dynamics.
in the best guys in the world are the guys that surf on the world tour. There's no question about that, and anybody who wants to dispute that, just look at Kelly Slater. I mean, that guy's the greatest surfer that's ever lived, and we're all fortunate to live in a time to see,
right.
I doubt there can ever be somebody that's as good as this guy. And then I think just everybody out there, despite all of that stuff, the money and the pro surfing and all
right.
of that, I just recently was involved in the induction of George Downing into the Surfers Hall of Fame, and he talked about growing up at the feet of Duke Kahanamoku, and talked about that Duke had told him early on, you got to live aloha, and I think we can all do a little bit more of living aloha.
Sure. So you think the sport though still incorporates a lot of that, and how do you feel as far as the actual surfers like Kelly Slater, who's ripping it up right now, but how are they changing, how the world looks at surfers and surfing in general, do you think?
Well, I think that this year particularly we've got events in major markets in America, like New York. We just had a huge event in New York, and and we're going to have another one shortly up in San Francisco. And I think people are starting to realise that pro surfing is the real deal now. I mean, it's not the NBA and it's not MLB, but this is a real sport with significant money, and these guys are professional athletes, and we're seeing the performance level at such a high level. And it's why we're seeing so many more injuries. I mean, you listen to the commentary, you hear this guy's injured and that guy's injured and this guy's out, and he's going to get the injury wild card. We didn't used to see that, and this new era of aerial attack, that's been pushed by these young guys, but still being done better by Slater than anybody. He didn't invent it, but he does it better than him.
So the risk factor is definitely out there, and these guys are taking that risk.
And in that respect, the sport's really elevated to like other sports, the risk of injury is a lot higher than it used to be, just because the performance levels are being pushed to such a degree.
Right. Well, Pete, I really appreciate your time today. That was a great interview, and you have a good one, and continue the good work.
No problem, mate.
ProSurfBlog.com